This time in the Quick Speed Shop, back working on the 40 Mercury, and I'm making the wheel well tubs. Check how this came out. Bam, that's awesome. Custom bead rolled action. So let's go over to the car, we'll start working on it. I'm a professional, don't try this at home. Hey guys, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. I'm picking up where I left off the last time on the 40 Mercury. I just built the recess for the gas tank, and one step I want to do before I get to the wheel tubs is I want to add some nutserts to the sheet metal to bolt the gas tank in, so I don't have to use nuts and get on try to reach up under the bottom of the car to bolt it in. So we got my Astro Tools 1442 here. I got a whole bunch of nutserts. I'm using 1/4-20s, and I've already drilled the car out to the correct size for these, and we're going to use this tool and put some nutserts in. So nutserts, I just take them, I thread them right onto the gun here. Set these down. And they simply go right in the hole, bam, like that. And I run the gun. I tighten it up a little bit more. There we go, got a nice little nutsert installed there real nice. It goes and it mushes the bottom of that right around, so bam, there we go. Just got to go ahead and I'll put the other ones around here, and then I'll be able to bolt the tank down whatever I want. Okay, the first step to making the wheel tub inner pieces is we got to make a pattern. So I've got some chipboard here. I got it stuck in the car. Let's take a look. I got a piece of chipboard. It's like hard cardboard, like cereal box type material. It's good for making patterns out of. It's not quite big enough here. You see a little bit of gap here, but it's the biggest piece I got, so we got to go with it. What I want to do is get it roughly cut down to the shape it's got to be, and then we'll dial in as we go. So I'm going to draw. Right now it's hanging way over the frame, so I'm going to cut a lot of that off and get it so I can get up in there. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take the marker and just rough it down along above the frame rail down here, and we'll get up that and then we'll fit in place. Just kind of hold her in place here. Yeah, give me my marker. How am I going to get over there? Why is everything in the way? Come on now. You're fighting me. Alright, there we go. That's close enough for government work. I can trim it first and get it sitting up on top of the frame, then dial in on it here. Let me weasel my way back out from under this car. So when 2-post lifts come in handy. Maybe in the new shop. Maybe in the new shop. Aha! Look at that! Get in there! Since I can't get the marker between the frame and here, is I'm going to trace along the top of this framework. Then on my pattern, I'll measure down, 3/4 inch to get to the bottom of the tubing. It's giving me a lot truer line here. Then I got to go inside the wheel well and trace it out here. I'm going to mark it here where this is. I got to trace around the inside of the wheel well. Then we'll be able to cut it out, make the mount. I'll go on the inside of the wheel. I'll trace that out because it's right tight up against the tub. What was that? One of my magnets. Right up against the tub there. And and we should have a good pattern. I gotta climb under her again. Hold on. So there we go. Got the crisp outline of the top of the framework, so I'll measure down 3/4 of an inch, then trim this. And on the other side, oh, there goes my scissors. Got the wheel well clearly marked here, and I marked this left hand out. Now, like I said, I'm missing the corner section here, so I'll have to make, once I put this back in and get it in place, I'll have to make a little piece to tape on to the pattern when we cut the sheet metal out. But I'll cut this out with a scissors real fast, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, here we are all cut out here. Bam. Just like that, it fits good. It is up right, just up off the edge of the bottom of this framework here. So our pattern is real nice. It's going to be real nice to make a good metal one out of. See in the wheel well here, it fits real nice up along the framework there. I got the pattern traced out here on the using some 18 gauge sheet metal here. I tried to lay it out so it was the minimum amount of cutting and maximum amount of sheet metal, which appears to be this way. So I got my air shears here. These got a cutter in the middle, Ingersoll Rand air shears. So we're going to cut this thing out. Well, that was a chore. My jaws must be dull on that. It's actually, I broke the head on the Ingersoll Rand air shears. I've actually got like a Harbor Freight set of jaws on it. They happen to interchange. And they must be getting real dull because I got to push real hard to make it work. But anyways, I got to cut out. I left a little bit long up here on the diagonal. I'm going to use the Beverly shear to trim that down closer. The flat piece here on the bottom, which isn't as critical, I got with the shears. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit over here. But let's go to the Beverly shear over here, bam, and we'll trim her up the rest of it. This thing is my favorite tool to use. It works awesome. It's a Beverly B2 shear signed by Gene Winfield, and it works fantastic. I would use this thing to cut the whole sheet of sheet metal out if I could, you know, hold it and get it up around there. I love this shear. This thing will cut 14 gauge up to, like, you know, whatever thinnest metal you want, but you can cut around curves. It's perfect. This is one of the best things I own, is this thing. Because my pattern fits so good, I'm cutting to the inside of the marker line. That'll make this piece the same as what the pattern was. That curls the metal right up for you. Bam, look at that. Okay, got her all trimmed out. What I did here is I tacked a little overhang 90 on there that will go up on top of the wheel tub and help hold me, have this thing not flop all around while I'm putting it in the car. So let's go over to the car. Look at that. That worked out good. Let's see here. Alright. This is weighing the tub down just a little bit. I got to go pick up the front edge in here, but it's fitting pretty nice. The edge is rolling right in there, and I'll be able to just take the hammer and just push this right together. This seam looks real good. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead in the wheel tub. I'm going to put a couple of zip screws on the bottom into the metal here, and that'll give me locations, and it'll give me a way to clamp this together for welding. I'm going to plug weld it, but for now I'll just zip screw it on there, and then take the screws out last and just weld up the holes for that. But we're one step away from welding. We gotta, well, two steps. We gotta do some bead rolling, then we gotta drill the plug weld holes. But the first fitment, it fits super gangbusters. That's what you want to do, is make a good template or pattern, so you got a real good fitment of your piece when you're making it. And anything here, like I've got a tiny little spot of high metal. Once I weld all this together, I can just hit this with a grinder and smooth this edge right up here. But this is a good little trick, putting a little holder tab on there. That helped out. Okay, got the old Eastwood bead roller out here. This is a machine that my buddy picked up for me out somewhere. It's an old Eastwood cast iron bead roller, probably from the 80s, made in USA right there, bam. And then my buddy Chad reinforced it, built this thing for it. It's on a swivel, so we can swivel 360 degrees around. I got this cast iron wheel off of like 1920s all manual grader out in the junkyard, and she rolls around there nice. And so I've got the big step dies in here. I want to put a pretty big bead roll in that. So let me get the wheel well. I'll set you up on a shelf here, and you can watch me bead roll this panel. I've drawn out a pattern here. I'm going to swing an arc all the way around 2 inches off the edge. I use the compass to lay that out. Then a couple of vertical lines on here. I think that should be plenty. So let's see how I want to start this. The car is in the way. I might need to spin this around. Well, let me go ahead. I'll roll one of these beads in here. You can watch it here. Can you see it? I think so. Just going to roll her down. Stop. That's the dimple there. That's pretty good. I could put in a little bit harder, but I think that's all right. Looks pretty good. Yeah, not too bad. Give her another pass. Put a little more into it and see how it comes out. little more pronounced, but there we go. So I'm going to set you up on the time lapse, and I'm going to go ahead and bead roll this panel. Well, bam, there we go. Check that out. Not bad for free-handing it one-handed on the manual bead roller. That looks pretty nice. This is the tire side there. The inside is going to look like that. But I put that nice big wide bead roll in there. And for free-handing it and eyeballing it, looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and get this zip screwed back into the car. And I think it's ready to tack up into the wheel well there. That looks awesome. Okay, so I clamped the tub in place, and I've done little tacks here just to line up the edge of the fender well sheet metal. And now I'm going to go underneath and weld it from the underside. So let's go around there. I'll show you what that looks like. But I've gone all the way around so far and got it locked into place. So under here in the wheel tub, you can see how it lays out here. And oh, I forgot I drilled all the plug weld holes off camera, but there's all the plug weld holes. They're going to weld right to the 3/4 inch tubing. Man, I got massive shadows here. But that wheel well looks good. It's going to weld up in there real nice. And I'm just going to skip lap it all the way around with little tacks and then seam seal this. It doesn't need to be welded up all the way fully, just enough to hold it in there. And then we'll seam seal it. But it looks good. And it's going to be nice and strong. And it looks, I love the look of the bead rolls there. It makes it look professional, like it's original part of the car. So that looks mint. I'm just going to work my way around and weld her up on in here, and then this wheel tub will be complete. All right, bam, there we go. Got her welded up in. I just got to take the grinder and clean these edges up, and you can see where I went about every, I don't know, ½ inch all the way around there, ½ inch to an inch, and got her all burned in. Got a couple little burn throughs, but it's not bad. I'll put a heavy coating of seam sealer on the inside, and then just clean this up and probably just smear a little bit on the inside here, but it'll be fine. And I'll seam seal down in here, seal this up watertight after I get the rest of the floor welded on. It'll be all sealed up nice. But it came out, looked good. Super strong in there. Welded up nice. I love the bead rolls in there, look mint. Let's go in the wheel well and check that out. The wheel well looks mint too. There's no grinding required up on where the yellow part is there. I'm just going to spooge that right full of seam sealer all the way. And then I will grind the plug welds down, smooth them up, but it'll be all seam sealed up, and it looks great. You're not going to see most of it because the tire is going to be so far up inside the wheel well. Anyways, you're not going to see most of it, but I'll know what's in there, and you guys know what's in there. It looks like something would have come off the factory floor. So there's the gas tank in there hanging down. Plenty of room to the rear end in this little pocket there, so everything's looking good. So bam, there we go. Custom wheel well action here. It looks great. I love it. And it's going to be super strong. Another step closer on the Mercury. As you can see, I got the gas tank just setting in here. I finished out the pocket from the last video, so the floor will come up and around here and then down. But you guys get the idea here. I'm going to go ahead and fabricate the one on the other side. It's going to be completely identical. The pattern should be 99% the same. I'm going to just go match it up, but same process. I'll cut it all out, trim it, fit it, and then bead roll it, and then just kind of slowly weld it up in there. Good progress today. That was something it really ties it back together when you get the wheel well in here and get it looking like a trunk again. And when we get the rest of the floor and get the firewall built here between the trunk and the back seat, it'll really pull all this together. But good progress. Got a nice 18 gauge wheel well installed in the 1940 Mercury. Come back next time. We'll be working on probably making the exhaust system while the floor is still missing. Get that done, and then next couple of videos be doing the floor and stuff and getting this thing kicked out, and maybe oh yeah, we got to put the bumper on too. Got a whole lot of stuff coming on, so make sure you come back for that. Subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you next time from the Quick Speed Shop.